The fire that burns within Leo moons is so intense that the need for expression is equally as high. It's almost like their heart center is so huge. It's so capable of giving and receiving love that the emphasis on this whole thing with love and attention, I find that's probably why it is in such high amounts with these people. It's not even necessarily with those that they love, although they need that. Leo moons, when they're in love, need a ton of attention and affection and a partner that shows that they care. They also like to run the show to some extent. uh, in regards to everyday life, if these individuals can share what they have to the world and also receive the attention and appreciation of these abilities, whether it is, their charisma or a talent in their music or artwork, if they can get back what they're giving out just in a different form, then they can remain satisfied. At least that's what it seems, and that is what all they've known is this expression of oneself and things working very much on an attention level. Yet, if Leo moons can turn inward and work with more within their self in ways that they create for all, they create for themselves and all in a way that removes the ego aspect, which seems almost impossible for someone with a lot of Leo to take the ego out of it. However, if they can fill their cup and nourish their cup, then their ability to give, not only does it go kind of when it's like a free expression, it's a free flow expression, but there's less chance of the negative expressions of a Leo moon being expressed. And these things, whether it's an overemphasis on oneself being more important than other people, narcissism, um, Leo moons can also be a little bit on the jealous side in regards to why do other women or men, why are other prospective partners getting attention when I'm here? Like, I'm here, why would you want to look at anyone else? There's this need to be the most important thing in their world. So as a Leo moon matures and becomes a little bit more balanced, there is still that awareness that one's unique self and one's who one is the most important thing, but also to know that everybody else has that same dynamic going on. So they can be brilliant, they can be great, they can be very talented, doesn't necessarily mean that anyone else needs to be less than. And an evolving, mature Leo moon wants to boost those around them up with them, which marks a true sign of leadership and a true sign of a king or queen persona. So in earlier years, that need for attention and affection and admiration in higher amounts than your average person, that starts to dissipate a bit. Not in a way that they don't like attention anymore, but in a way that they don't need it in such high amounts to be fulfilled. They'll appreciate it whenever it's there, but they don't need it to get on with their life. Also, their flirtatious nature in some ways to partners and other people can seem a little bit maybe too intense or a little bit too passionate in ways that it might be threatening for some other people. However, if it's seen as a childlike kind of flirtation and the person is in a balanced state of their lives, it's harmless. Like, it is truly harmless. It is just operating on that sensual, sorry, not sensual, but the like the charismatic level of self that's just wanting to intermingle with other personalities. So keeping in mind that a Leo moon, if in a good place, will not be trying to steal your partner, will not be trying to win things that aren't deservedly theirs. However, if you do meet Leo Moon that is at a bit out of balance or is feeling a lack, there may be a chance for that for sure. So, acceptance of their need for attention and acceptance of their need to be expressed and to be creative and to see that as that's a beautiful childlike quality that a lot of us start to let go of and start to think we need to mature out of as we get older. The fact that these moons maintain this sense of childlikeness is something that's really, I think, quite admirable or quite courageous in a world that's quite blocked and full of structures and responsibilities. And yeah, I think that that's a beautiful, captivating quality of Leo moons. I think that if they're seen as if they're seen as people that have a lot to give, but knowing that they're deserving of someone giving back, that their need for attention doesn't seem so one-sided. To see that they're wanting back what they're giving out. At least, again, a healthy Leo moon will be doing this. Let them feel admired. Let them feel like they're the best thing in the world. As they get older, as a partner, for instance, of a Leo moon, and you're nourishing that about them, life will teach them certain things. That doesn't need to be you doing it. Life can teach them certain things that will teach them to be a bit more humble, or to know that they're not in control of everything and they can't have everything their way. But as a partner, and they need from a partner is someone who will nourish them with their affection and attention. And they will give it back. If they're feeling nourished, they'll give it back to you, and that is a beautiful thing. And although you might be the one with the Leo moon, to maybe let people know in your life that you're not there to necessarily steal things away and to hoard the attention, affection, and admiration. You're just wanting back what you think you're deserving of. And an awareness of what you deserve is something that you can share with others, what other people need to learn that they're deserving of. So to nourish you, drama doesn't need to be in a melodramatic sense, but actual drama, life's dramas, whether it's literally going to artistic expressions of that drama or immersing oneself um, in film, or that's another thing, film, big one, singing, taking tons of photos, maybe not so much 1,000 selfies, but that will quite often be the case. Maybe not, maybe more for some females. Uh, Also, things like engaging with younger people, engaging with people with that childlike innocence still going on, going back to basics, going back to just playing and having fun and less adult mind game manipulation, more heart centered stuff. There is something about you that just is eternally optimistic or just wants to uplift others. And so respecting yourself and knowing what you deserve, but in a way that isn't too demanding, will reap what you need. And if you give yourself, or your partner or friend of a Leo moon, if you remind them to give themselves everything that they need to feel whole, everything in their external world, and all the things that they're wanting it'll just fall into place magnetically and naturally. But a lot of Leo moons, if they're feeling upset, if they're feeling like they lack something, they'll try to change their external world first, and that doesn't really work. The changes need to happen in here first. Most Leo moons in the last, I would say, maybe even the 10-year period, could be a bit longer. There's for depending on where the moon is, early degrees, later degrees, there's been a Neptune transit going on that may have sensitized these people somewhat, maybe increased shyness or self-doubt, but whatever it is, it's opened their feelings up to more empathic and compassionate level. So this time may have come to a close to some extent where they're not as sensitive, but lessons will have remained. And to not forget these things, you can be confident and authentic and expressive at the same time as humble and uplifting to others. I feel like there's probably one or two other things. So being charismatic, letting others, or complimenting others as well as allowing the compliments, not seeking, not seeking any attention for the sake of attention. And a lot of girls, especially in their earlier years, may have got into certain trouble by doing things maybe just for the sake of attention from others. And to know that that's only. So, being, being dynamic, resonating with the things that make you feel truly you, make you feel truly whole, what is uplifting and inspiring, and just getting back to what's authentic, what real feelings are. These things are really important. And there's only so much intellectualizing that a Leo moon can do before the emotions will ultimately take over for most life's decisions. Although, a little bit of rationalism goes a long way at times, a lot of the decisions will be made on emotional reactions to things. So remembering one's innate faith in oneself in the process will get you back aligned. Will get them back aligned, and to know that in essence you are a God form. So is everybody else, but to focus on your own God form and respect others' God form as well. So no matter how intense things get, no matter how challenging life is, you have that capacity more than a lot of other signs to tap into that, to bring out that courage, to bring out that potential within you to just tackle it and to grow and to be like a true king or queen, where there is a want for fair, a want for authentic and real challenges, where there's little manipulation, there's little amounts of bullshit. It is what it is. So getting back to that will definitely put you back on path. So that's it for me and Leo moons. Um, yeah, just affection and attention and warmth. They need warmth. You need warmth. Getting these things, being in the sun, getting some sun, feeling inspired. Feeling inspired is a massive one. Just bring out your creative side, no matter what that is. And if you're, say, a Leo moon that has Saturn or Uranus or some other planetary influences going on that may seem to counteract everything I'm saying to some extent, it might be these things maybe more in a work sense, or it might be more of an application. The need for creativity is going into a work sense, or the need for drama and romance. That might actually be your thing. You might be an eternal bachelorette. But just whatever you are, go with it. As long as other people know where they stand, and you're coming from the heart. So that is my main bit of advice. No matter what sun sign you are, no matter what else is going on, if you're a Leo moon, you need to get back to the heart center and what is authentic and real for you. And then that way you can respect everybody else's approach to life too. So thanks for listening, guys. Like always, just make some comments below, or message me if there's something that I've missed. And yeah, so and talk to you soon. Bye.